When I was a kid, my dream, probably just like many of you guys, was actually to become a YouTuber. I wanted to be huge on YouTube and make a lot of money with it. Now, when I was a kid, I actually thought it was mostly about just getting views, and this is what actually pays the bills, but this is not true, man. There's so many influencers who are broke AF.
You're broke! You're fucking poor!
They get all the views, but they can't even afford rent. They're living on a freaking mattress on the floor. It's depressing. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to teach you how to influencer max. Live out your dream life. Travel all over the world. Get clout. Get hot girls sliding into your DMs. And most of all, have a life of freedom that you may be dreaming about. And actually make good money with it. But not just good money. Very good money. You know, like the doctors, lawyers, even beyond that. Because what's cool is you are your own boss. The amount of money that you can earn is infinite. You can keep scaling as much as possible because the internet has infinite amount of people who could potentially be adding to this. So without further ado, let's get it. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Before you actually start influencing, like becoming a YouTuber, doing all this stuff, you really need to put a focus on you yourself and your looks, your confidence, how you speak, literally everything. So if you're going to make YouTube videos, for example, you have to know how to speak on camera. Now, you can practice, which is what I did. I started YouTube. I was terrible at creating videos. The key was to keep creating. You can never quit if this is something that you are actually serious about. But I'm talking about your image as a whole. Like, have you spent years on years looks maxing, building the physique of your dreams, building the discipline required to actually start something like this? Because everyone thinks this is easy. A lot of people, they look at YouTubers, influencers, they're like, oh, they have such an easy life. No. They portray more of an effortless life, but I don't think you guys actually realize how difficult it is to create videos that actually hit the algorithm, to be posting this stuff daily, not to mention myself and all these other creators who do other things, such as one-on-one coaching, they have business, they do a whole bunch of different things. This takes so much time. So it almost comes out to where you're working literally non-stop. You have to look your absolute best. If you don't look your absolute best right now, you should definitely hold off on something like this, because getting the views, getting the sales, I'm gonna be honest, it will be much easier if you're more attractive. There's like a scale to where the more attractive you are, the more viewership you're obviously going to get. It's like if you're an 8, if you're a 9, and you come onto social media, you're gonna pop off like that. But if you're like a sub 5 trying to create content, it will not be very good for you, and it will make you never actually want to create videos to begin with. Becoming an influencer is just like how it sounds. You literally have an influence on people. Now, a lot of people, they're only concerned with the views, like how many views, how many followers do I have, and they don't even think about that type of influence. Whenever you're an influencer, essentially you're influencing people's buying decisions. So what are you actually influencing them to do? Are you influencing them to create a better life, or are you influencing them to do destructive things like do drugs, party, and do all this crazy stuff? You know, so you really want to think about what type of influence you're actually having on the world. I have this philosophy actually with life. So in the game Call of Duty, there's a KD ratio where you want to take out as many people as possible before you get taken out. But my philosophy is obviously kind of the opposite. So I feel like with your life, the matter of importance is pretty much, for me, how many people I can positively impact. How many people can I make more attractive, more confident, improve their life? Because if I can do that on a mass scale, that will make my life more so worth living, rather than just taking up space like many people these days. So you want to have purpose in what you're doing. Finding your niche. Now, this one actually took me quite a while. So I used to create semen retention videos, and not just that, spiritual videos. I would always talk about like chakras, raising your vibration, energy, vibrations, all these things. But you know the thing? No one really cares about that. You know, like, I'm a certified personal trainer. I've worked with a lot of different people. I'm a professional model. I've done jobs for like Bulls, Polo, like huge fashion companies in Thailand. People don't want to hear about the spiritual stuff. You know why? Because they don't care. It's like I've talked about. We live in a very superficial society. So what do they care about? What can I add to the world? What value can I actually bring to people? Well, it's how to look more attractive, how to get a six-pack, how to get your dream physique, how to look as handsome as possible, how to style your hair. And a lot of people, they might think this is superficial, it's vain, but somebody out there has to do it. There has to be somebody out there actually teaching people these things. And that kind of brings us into the next thing. Whatever you were doing, I want you to have qualifications for this thing. Like, I want you to be the best at it. So whenever you're choosing your niche, don't just choose something you kind of like. It's like if I was on here trying to create YouTube videos, not even talking about spiritual stuff, but let's say I'm talking about movie reviews. I don't know what actually creates a good film. I don't know anything about this, but I love going to the movies and watching a movie. What gives me the qualifications to be on here talking about movie reviews? Or a nerdy hobby I've picked up recently. I love collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I think it's very fun, especially in Japan. I get really rare, cool Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I could come on here talking about, oh, this is going to be the best card. This is how to build your deck, but no one cares about that, man. So you want qualifications for what you're doing, and you want to do the thing that's going to provide the most value for other people with your own qualifications. This is going to be a must if you actually want to be successful with becoming an influencer. Before we start creating content, you actually need to build your brand. So what are you? You know, like Austin Wayne, this is my brand. You can say kalosique is my brand, but that's an extension of my brand. Austin Wayne is the original brand. Now, if you'll notice, I have the same original font on both Austin Wayne and kalosique. I use it for all the thumbnails. I use it on all my websites, everything that nobody else uses. This is not just a basic font you can find on Photoshop. It's a very unique font. And then coloring is everything. You know, like a lot of people, they stay very consistent with the colors. Maybe it's the channel banner, maybe it's the thumbnails, maybe it's your website. But some people, they go with different colors. Like if you're advertising to men, I think red is a great color. If you're advertising more so to feminine people, more women, purples, pinks, this is going to be a really good color to use as well. Personally, I just use black and white because black and white promotes luxury. It's expensive, it's clean, it's minimal. These are the things I want to associate with myself and then my brand. So you want to decide before you're doing this, like, are you going to create like a kalosique and you are kalosique, kind of like how Kino Body is Kino Body rather than Grego Gallagher. Grego Gallagher is not the personal brand. Kino Body is. But Austin Wayne is more so the personal brand rather than kalosique. So you want to decide what you're going to do. So like if you're only creating fitness content, you don't want any room to branch out, then maybe choose like a fitness brand name that you only create content from. But my personal opinion is going to be that the personal brand is going to be a billion times better. Because if you ever change your mind, like if I start off Austin Wayne Fitness and then 5 years down the road, obviously I changed completely into looks maxing. I only talk about looks maxing stuff. This means I can never talk about fitness. And vice versa is true. If I go Austin Wayne looks maxing, this means I can't really talk about fitness stuff. You know, like you want to brand off of yourself. This way you're never going to be closed off into that niche. One way to blow up on social media, become an influencer, is obviously going to be creating videos that get attention, just like my height videos, which I would not be able to do if I was not 6'6". Now, with both my parents being roughly 5'8", 5'9", becoming 6'6" was actually insane because my projected height was only 6'1", but I did protocols that nobody else did, and no one else is still even talking about in the industry. Now, the number one reason I believe most people don't reach their optimal high growth potential is going to be nutrient deficiencies. 92% of Americans across all social classes are deficient in basic vitamins and minerals. This actually shuts down your IGF-1 human growth hormone, closing your growth plate. So you have to pick up Titan Growth 2.0 on my website, kalosique.com, which has 500 to 1000% of all your daily required nutrients to optimize your high growth. Don't forget, guys, I just launched a new supplement, Chad Pills, on kalosique.com. Now this actually has keratin and then all the required nutrients to optimize your looks to the fullest. A whole bunch of biotin to grow the hair, the nails super long, as well as anything else needed to make you more attractive, essentially. It is going to be the king of supplements you could possibly take. If you combine that with Titan Growth 2.0, you're going to make sure your health is on point to take your looks and your height to the next level. And don't forget, you have to join Keyless VIP. This is my school Looks Maxing, my 3-hour Looks Maxing Masterclass, 2-hour High Growth Masterclass. Right now, I have the Female Nature Masterclass link below to get started right now with Keyless VIP. Every 2 weeks, including today, I'm doing one today, or I just got off one whenever this video is posted. We're doing private group calls with me and all my students. Robert Greene has a quote. It's one of the laws of power. You need to court attention at all costs. So this is the biggest key to becoming an influencer, actually. So if I was on here creating content, I was super boring. I didn't know how to speak properly, and just overall, no one really cared. Like, let's say I have a couple thousand subs, I would not be able to make a career out of this to where I am comfortable in how I am. So the key to actually becoming an influencer is you have to know how to get people's attention. Now, obviously, I was doing very well before the walking videos, but the walking videos take things to the next level. It demands people's attention to where people are watching the walking videos. People who've never seen them before, they're watching the walking videos. So even if your goal is to be primarily educational, I think there should be some entertainment aspect that draws people in to get their attention, and then you can funnel that into teaching them things that will actually help improve their lives. So I think that boom boom, that 2-punch combo is going to be ideal for influencing, for making the most out of this. Because if you look at any successful influencer, most of them have that entertainment factor, but they're also quite educational as well. I think Prime Connor Murphy, he was a great example of this. He would always get insane amounts of attention, and then he would still like make vlogs and stuff with crazy good fitness advice, and then he even branded it to where he had a fitness brand, coaching, everything, ended up making tons of money. So this is a great inspiration to look at as well. Now, you want to be creating quality content on a consistent basis. Now, consistency is actually more important than quality. Now, this is one thing everyone gets wrong when it comes to creating content. They're like, oh, it has to be perfect. The video has to be perfect. I can't post this unless it's perfect. Perfection is going to kill and crush all of your dreams. Listen to me, man. Brandon Carter once said this, and it stuck in my mind forever. So if you make mediocre content, but you still get people's attention with it, and you do this consistently, you're going to get way better results than the guy who makes insane content. It's God tier, but he makes it once a month, maybe once every couple of months. People are going to forget. They don't care as much. You need to be consistent. You need to be showing up in these people's lives, especially if you want to be trusted. You want to build a business around this. People have to get familiar with you. People have to know your personality. People will have to learn to know who you are as a person, essentially. Because at the end of the day, what I want with my YouTube channel, with my social media, is I want to be almost like a family member, a brother to you, to where I'm giving you advice that will significantly change your life. You feel really connected with me, which is why I make it such a point for this to be a community. This is why I respond to everybody, which brings us into the next point. It's going to be very, very important. It's going to be crucial to actually be growing on here. You know, like, you want to be very interactive with people. I hate seeing influencers like this. Like, they hit 10K and then they think that they're all that. I have 120K on Instagram. I still reply to just about every single person. I'm about to hit 100K on here. I still reply to just about every single person because the little details matter. And even once you get too big to respond to everybody, just the effort to respond to the people who are first on the video, the first 20 comments, it is huge, man. So this is gonna really make everything much more engaging. The last thing you have to do is pretty much do everything that I just said, but you have to learn how to learn and then keep going. The biggest thing is to never, ever, ever quit, because you're going to want to quit. There's going to be months where you're not making any money. It feels like you're wasting your time. So this is why you want to make sure it's something you enjoy doing. It's something that you are very, very skilled at. I don't think it's something meant for everybody. I think there's some people, they're going to be a lot better at it than you are. But I still think even if you're not necessarily skilled, just about anyone can build up this skill set. It took me over 100 videos, full-length videos, not shorts, to where I even got decent speaking on camera. It took forever, man. Make sure to always keep in mind with the algorithm, the thumbnail click rates, the like to comment ratio, the dislikes, literally everything. You need to be over analyzing it to know pretty much what does well in the algorithm. So you have to learn the algorithm on everything. So right now I've got the YouTube algorithm, which is different, and then the Instagram algorithm. You have to learn everything. My TikTok is shadow banned right now, so when I'm in America next, I'm gonna buy a new phone in America, so it has all the American details inside of it, and then start posting from America for a little bit before obviously I leave again. But this should help make sure that the TikTok, the new one, is not shadow banned. But that's it, man. That's it. Learn the algorithms, post consistently, never quit. Subscribe if you're new. I love you with all my heart. Peace.